ISS off some people? Congratulations, I'm glad to see you're not all wearing masks, by the way.
Good morning. Outside. I just want to first ask you what my first last name is spelled again.
I'll just get my first name. My first name is Sally, and it's Sally.
Sally, why are you here today, and what exactly is your message?
Well, my message is that masks don't work, first of all. I'm just telling everybody, I was just bellowing it out at you folks, read the packages. Just read the packages. I also would like to point out that I'm a nurse. And before all this happened, as I was just saying, I think some of you heard, my health department would have ripped me a new one, in common language, if I'd worn the same dirty paper mask all day. And rightfully so. Breathing is an expiratory process, just like when you eat, the other end. Expiratory, you're getting rid of things your body doesn't need. Why do I want to keep that next to my face? Why not just let it fall as nature intended? But then 3 months later, those same people are telling me to wear the same dirty paper mask.
Ma'am, not to interrupt you, but are you here in protest of a situation that happened at the school?
Yes, thank you. I'm here to protest what happened to a young man in a special ed class, to my understanding, if that's correct. And I actually, if my understanding is correct, I actually years ago taught that age and that particular special ed type of issue. Besides, you don't tape anything to anyone's face. We had a 13-year-old boy, I assume from what I've read, in a special ed class, who said that a teacher taped a mask to his face. So one, you've got something that not only doesn't work, but is harmful. Taped to a child's face. The child was then barricaded and locked into the room, couldn't go call his parents. Well, I'd like to know if the teacher wasn't afraid of what she'd done and thought it was correct. Why didn't she let that child go call the parents? Why wasn't she calling the parents and, look, your kid won't keep his mask on? He said he couldn't breathe. So I taped it to his face. If what she did was right, if she thought it was right, why didn't she brag about it? Why didn't she go call those parents herself? I mean, I would have asked the teacher and said, look, this kid won't behave, so I made him. Apparently she knew it was the wrong thing, and another teacher also told her she couldn't do that.
Yep.
But she did it. As a teacher, I never would. I never would have done that. I also read that the parents asked if the roles were reversed, if the child had taped something to the teacher's face, would it have been assault? Oh yeah. So what's the difference? I'm assuming that the teacher is larger and stronger than the child. I know at 13 that's questionable. So how is that not assault? How is it not unlawful restraint? I don't understand that. I don't understand also, why people are leaving their children in public schools to be suffocated, why they're paying their taxes for schools that do that, why the police aren't doing their jobs, and frankly, why are people even paying their property taxes when the schools and they won't do their job, they're actually hurting your kids and the police won't protect you. Frankly, when I come through Beloit, I go through, I don't stop at the businesses because I don't think I'll be safe. Who knows? I can't call on the cops to protect me. They're not going to help.
Ma'am, I want to ask you, Beloit police did come out on October 28th and said that there was no criminal evidence after all the students and teachers that they interviewed that apparently witnessed this. What is your response to Beloit's? I mean, they've obviously come out with the investigation. We got more information today, with all the details regarding what happened during the incident. So what is your response to this?
Well, I didn't get to see any updates. I have a disabled veteran husband that I care for, so I haven't seen any updates. But the whole point is masks should not be in the schools. They have no place in the schools whatsoever. They do not work. And no child should have a mask taped to their face. I mean, we've had this go on in other places. You probably know. Was it Arizona where it happened? They simply don't work. And to tape something to a child's face is an assault. I don't care what the police thought, it's an assault. And I have to wonder what the whole point was, especially since that child's mask said it's not about health, it's about control. Well, I think these posters on my sign, what I could put together with what I had at home, I think that kind of backs that up. And I think it's racist. I do think there is racism involved. I absolutely believe it was racist. Nothing will ever change my mind on that. Whatever the police say, this was racist.
You know, what is maybe your goal or goal of people around here today coming out here and standing?
I'm hoping that people will wake up. One, realize that masks don't work. Two, realize that children do not belong in public school. And three, maybe people will start to really think twice before paying their property tax. What is it? They're due by the end of January, because that's where the taxes for the school come from. That's where a lot of the funding comes from. So I think maybe it's time we really started to think about that. These people are paid the public dollar.
Parents are in charge.
Parents should be in charge.
Parents
and parents, for heaven's sakes, take charge back. These are your children. The most important job any parent has is to defend their child with their life if necessary. And now we have them wanting to do these vaccines that have been described as by Zev Zelenko. Dr. Zev Zelenko told Israeli Prime Minister that giving children this shot was an act of child sacrifice. So now, if you wouldn't stop the mass where they were suffocating your children, now are you going to let your child be sacrificed? Those are not my words, those are the words of a family doctor with decades of experience, a father of 7, an Orthodox Jewish man who has saved many patients using ivermectin. He stated to Israeli ministers, you can see the interview, the shot is an act of child sacrifice. And now they want to bring it to your schools in Wisconsin. So, you know, parents, wake up.
Experimental gene modification.
Not to mention parasites, graphene.
Okay, to the people who are watching live, I want to give sort of an introduction to what's actually happening here. I started with, there was one sort of press interview that was going on, which is why I didn't kind of do a intro earlier. So this is a situation here at the school district of Beloit, Wisconsin. I flew in here from Chicago. This is for geographic reference, about an hour and a half from Chicago, but here in Wisconsin. And basically this town is in a conundrum because there was a alleged incident in which a teacher taped a mask onto a student who was 13 years old and reportedly has special needs. And the police apparently investigated this and concluded that there was no criminal action committed by the teacher, but of course the people who are out here protesting the situation disagree, and their point of view is sort of how could that be the case if there's tape on a kid's face. So of course I'm not trying to take sides in this situation. I'd gladly talk to somebody with an opposing view relative to things if they show up here, and I plan to do that. But what's kind of interesting about what's happening here, though, is that this protest, because the Proud Boys had called on it, the town to organize, and then the Proud Boys are doing security for it. There's about, I've counted 6 Proud Boys in uniform here out of a few dozen people participating. But because of this event, the school district actually shut down. Students did not attend school today because they were concerned about security because of this event behind me. So I think that it'll be interesting because it's really at the intersection of a lot of issues that are being talked about right now in the media, right? So you have the federal government saying that they're concerned about terrorism as it relates to parents attending school board meetings, concerned about specific political issues, and you have, of course, issues about masks, COVID, and so forth. On that note, I will say this is my countervailing view for the sake of YouTube. YouTube in particular has a rule that says that you're not allowed to live stream people talking about what they view as COVID disinformation. Even though I, of course, obviously am just recording, I'm not taking any sides of any kind of event that I'm covering, but they say that in order to have a documentary video like this up, that you have to have countervailing views. So you can go to cdc.gov or what's the other one? or the WHO to learn more about vaccines and COVID and all that stuff. That was a countervailing view. YouTube cannot remove this live stream now. If they do, I will point to this exact moment in it as a countervailing view, and I'll probably do the same thing toward the end of the live stream as well. But so from here on out, I plan to just sort of have a live feed of what goes on here. Again, with it in mind that schools were canceled due to the exact rally that you are about to watch. So we'll see what happens.
I've been attacked by many germs.
very cool like leadership. Kind of wish they
Some seats changes or something.
but
Channel 3 asked the question.
Layout 42.
Yeah. That's more than I thought, actually. I thought it would be like 10 people.
Like it said that. I wish that. I wish that it would. Well, it says Caleb. Justice for Caleb. Sorry.
Miss it every time when something speaks.
Yeah. Does the same thing, right?
Standing against this mistreatment, this abuse that the school district has chosen to do nothing about, that they're in denial and trying to make it sound like it's his word against hers. I can't imagine that anybody would allow this to go on, that a student would have a mask taped. I hated to do this to myself even, but this is a statement because I am against masking, forced masking, and my God, to tape a mask onto a student's face, around his head, and to scare him like that, and to scare the other students, I can't imagine that it would be a joke or treated lightly. And the school district needs to do something about this. These parents are upset. The city should be upset with what's going on.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
What do you think about the police basically validating what happened? It sounds like the police investigated. It didn't exactly deny that the incident occurred, but they said, like, we didn't find that there was evidence of abuse of illegal activity. How did you feel about the police evaluating this?
There's different stories about that. I have heard that the police said that they interviewed all the children and both teachers. I have heard that that is not the case. I'm disgusted with their findings, their report, and basically they're part of the issue that's caused Caleb to be pitted against, or the school district to pit Caleb against this teacher. I mean, she was the one that did it to him. She admitted that she put tape on his face. Even one little tiny bit of tape should not have been allowed, should not be excused. So, yeah, no, I don't like the investigation, if that's what you can call it.
And how do you feel about the district responding by shutting down school for the day because of this?
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. Up the street is our Lincoln Academy, and that didn't shut down. That's not part of the public school system. That's just up the street. But they shut the whole city. And at 5:30 this morning, they were sending out notices for a 3 o'clock protest that's here at Colac, not at any of the schools. None of this is scary. It was meant to be scary. It was meant and is meant to make a point.
What is your view of it? Seems like they were putting a lot of attention on the Proud Boys' presence. I see maybe 6 of them here. Do you have any opinion of them?
I don't know. I don't recognize anybody of them, of that group. I think that it's fine that they started the organization of this protest. Why not? I mean, if that's the impetus that we need to get something done, that's okay.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get your name or whatever name you use?
Sure. Mary Ann, whatever name I use.
Yeah.
However you'd like to.
However you would like it to be.
Mary Ann, 2 separate words, A-N-N. Spem, S is in Sam, V is in Victor, E-O-M as in man.
Thank you so much.
So it is.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if anybody disagrees with them. We'll see. So to the people who are curious about the Proud Boy role in this, the Proud Boys were the ones who actually suggested this originally. So to be clear, the Wisconsin Proud Boys, the Wisconsin chapter of the PBs. And I saw that, or I heard that somebody was commenting about that. So they're kind of on the edge. So you can see right over my shoulder, the Proud Boys there's 3 of them here. And if we're looking in this direction, sorry, it's kind of a mirror. The Proud Boys are there. So, what I've heard so far of people kind of interviewing people and so forth, it seems like the Proud Boys aren't really trying to talk to anybody. Like they're sort of posturing as security, and that's especially true given that they're putting themselves on the corner of the corners of the event. So there's about 3 Proud Boys on each side, totaling maybe 6 of them, although they're not super actively involved. They're the only ones who are wearing any kind of like equipment. Like, so one's wearing a helmet and a plate carrier, and the other side, some masks and stuff. But like, this is not it was an event that was organized by the Proud Boys, but it's not predominantly by any stretch, them as participants. Someone mentioned it in the comments.
Because they're trying to push that vaccine mandate now. And this story would just mess their whole narrative.
Well, it's Guy Fawkes Day, so it's well, it's that I was PM. Someone, well, actually, you know what? You go to my live stream on Facebook.
Did you have school today? Did you go to the park?
I could give you the contact of the person who sent it to me.
Excuse me, media types. Y'all see the chemtrail up there? What? Seriously.
They don't cover
It's a
real
chemtrail.
news.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Talking about the airplane.
We're being sprayed like dogs.
Do you have Facebook? Like Facebook?
I don't.
Oh yeah, but not really. Like
Then we could try on Twitter.
We know that, and that's why the kids are very Yeah, shouldn't even been.
Was that something that came up? Like they said that it was a different type of tape
All the
than.
news medias ran with the story that it was duct tape.
Yeah, and the kid
My
actually
son-
said it was a clear as yellow tape.
In his interview with WKRW, said clear yellowish tape. So
Yeah.
the
Oh,
duct
so-
tape came from whatever media station flipped it.
So it was your son.
Yeah. it's my
Oh, I
son.
didn't realize that. Yeah.
Your son was the person at the heart of this issue?
Yes.
Do you, from your perspective, do you want to talk about what happened? I'm live streaming, by the way, so I can't chop out, like, whatever you say is what the audience sees.
I mean, pretty much it comes down to the fact that they're trying to cover up the fact that she assaulted my son. They talked to, I think there was 5 students that were in that class, and one of them sided with the teacher that said she put a little piece of tape on my son's mask, and she said it was as a joke. From the way my son came home upset, it wasn't a joke. I know my son was upset, and I could tell right away that he was upset about something. So I knew it wasn't a joke, and I called down to the school, and they literally did nothing about it. They actually hung the phone up on me that day when I called to ask them about what happened. And she set the phone down, the front secretary, and she was like, "Give me a second." Comes back to the phone, and she's like, "Well, this conversation's over. They hang the phone up on me." They said they talked to 5 kids in the class. 4 out of the 5 confirmed my son's story. Where, one of them said it was a 10-foot piece of tape. The other one said that it was she wrapped the tape around the back of his head. And 1 out of the 5 kids said that the exact same thing that the teacher said. It was a lie. I have proof that the police department also lied, that the school board lied about the police department lied about doing the investigation like they said they did. The school board lied, so I'll be proof. It was a conflict of interest. The cop they sent to do the report was a liaison officer at the school.
Oh.
This is the cop they
Somebody
sent to
said
take the
that
report.
was it.
Yep.
Yes.
And he already talked to the teachers before he talked to me. So he already got the teacher side of the story. Pretty much had his mind made up when he got to my house.
Right. So how have you felt about kind of the police's, like, statement about it and the school's statement about it, the way that they're telling people?
They're trying to cover it up. I think they're trying to spin it. We're making out of not a big deal, but it is. And it's not. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to keep fighting until my son gets justice and every other kid in the school that's been mistreated by any faculty or staff gets justice as well.
How do you feel about the schools announcing that they were, like, shutting down over this gathering?
Expected. I mean, we planned this out at this location so that it would not disrupt any schools that were going on. We set it at a time where school's almost out anyway. The school gets out, I think the high school gets out at 3:30. So we started a protest at 3 o'clock, and then they decided to shut the whole district down because of it. So
It's clearly a peaceful protest.
I think they called it a riot.
Right.
I don't see
Can you tell me how?
It's a protest for all the parents, everybody in this community, and that goes to anybody that has kids that goes to this district. This is what it's about. It's about everybody. Doesn't matter color, doesn't matter political preference, doesn't matter anything. I don't care. This is about the kids. This is about it's not right for a teacher to put their hands on a kid. It was assault, plain and simple.
How do you feel about it? Seemed like they were putting a lot of emphasis on the Proud Boys presence. I only see 6 Proud Boys out here, but
I have no idea. I'm out here supporting myself.
fair enough.
Can you tell me how it was like when your son came home and you saw that he was upset and you found out what happened?
You said,
How did it feel like when your son came home and he was upset?
Of course I was mad. Anybody would have been. If any kid came home and said that a teacher taped the mask to their face, any parent would be upset. It's common sense. You don't touch someone else's kid. You're supposed to be a teacher. School's supposed to be a safe zone. And nowadays it's not. It's not to my son. And other kids too. There's been other stories that have come out too, but like I said, they're trying to sweep everything under the rug.
Thank you.
Could I ask something without the? I actually don't want to film it. Is it correct to say this is a special needs thing?
My son is in special needs. What's your favorite? And it was a special needs teacher that did it.
My outlet is called News to Share, so it's live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, sure. It's the name of the outlet's written on my hat.
Do I like Linda?
If you had something to say, by the way, on the live stream, I'd be happy to. Again, to people who might be tuning in, who want to know what's going on here. So this is a rally to support basically a 13-year-old student here at the Beloit schools here in Wisconsin, where reportedly, basically a father who I just interviewed describes that there was a situation in which his son had a mask taped to his face in school. So there was sort of a uproar against the teacher who reportedly did this, and the police investigated and then said that they found that there was no wrongdoing. And so they, are out here protesting basically to fire the teacher, that they want accountability over what happened. Of course, the school district has said that they feel that nothing wrong occurred. What's also interesting, though, as you look behind me, this has been, I think, by most measures of political activism, fairly uneventful, right? This has been people with signs, but there hasn't even really been chants. There hasn't been speeches. I haven't seen any sound amplification. There's no megaphones. There certainly hasn't been any kind of violence or interactions with police or anything like that. But they actually shut down the schools for today The Beloit public school system actually shut down today because of the rally that you see behind me. They sent an email out at about 5:30 saying that they feel that this rally constituted a sort of security threat, and so they shut down the school. So that has been part of my motivation to cover this the way that I am, so that whatever happens, whether it goes like this until the end, or whether it ends in any other way, that people get the whole story of what occurred in their community that led to the school shutting down. So again, this has mostly been parents with signs. The rally was originally called for and organized by the Wisconsin Proud Boys, which is something that, as I've talked to the parents here a little bit so far, most of them are kind of saying we don't know much about the Proud Boys, but we're glad that the event got organized. And in practice, out here, I think I counted 42 total participants. There was about a dozen journalists in addition to that, many of whom already left. But 6 Proud Boys in uniforms, 3 on kind of each end of the corners of the event. So if you're watching me right now, like some of them basically right there. But so with that, again, I will just return to showing you what's going on.
Oh, he said he doesn't know.
You're a chatty cat. Do you have one? I've never had lemon pepperoni. Do you ever eat clovers?
The push notification when she sent it to me disappeared. So I couldn't even, that's why I'm saying, can you just copy and paste so we can at least see what she saw? If there really is something going on right nearby, I'd be totally happy to check out both things. Down the window and she looked disgusted by them. I thought she was going to yell something. No worries. The guy wearing all black for this thing. Oh no, I'm not saying you. That guy is kind of. Yeah. That feels like the murder of that person honked and put out a peace symbol to them.
The driver.
That's cool that you can import onto it like that.
Plus, it's good stuff. I used to do the rides. I was doing it.
Why don't you just search James on Twitter? No, that's your own.
Oh, the past.
Yeah. I don't know. Might have just been a bad day.
It's like a tiny little gathering. It's not a
If something happens and it wasn't on Twitter,
exactly.
I hope this was worth it to you, that this is all that happens. Right.
I've been itching to go somewhere. It's an interesting story, especially with the shutdowns. They shut down the whole like not just this building, but multiple buildings.
Well, the Beloit public schools, I think this is a small town, so I think that means elementary, middle, and high. straight that way. It says Trump and it's got 3 American flags on it. So I just wanted to take a shot kind of from this side of the street for context. I don't know if actually that's showing up mirrored for people who are watching this, but so the setting, the place that this is actually happening is across the street from the Beloit School Board building. So to be clear, they're not at the school. The school is close by. It's basically across a bridge that's right over there. But they are rallying outside specifically the school district building. And again, to people who are watching and might not have sort of heard earlier, the school district, the public school district actually shut down because of this. So students did not attend public middle and elementary school, elementary, middle, and high school, public elementary, middle, and high school in this town of Beloit today because they were concerned about security because of this event that we are at right now.
camera. That's live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put me in the picture.
No, you don't have that. Or it looks like you might be.
I'm sorry?
It looks like you might be the only one out here countering this
That's
event.
fine. I drove from Milwaukee for this.
Do you want to talk about why you're? Oh. Do you want to talk about why you came out here?
Of course, because there was no criminal act done. The student was not harmed, and they're trying to politicize wearing masks. People are dying. It's not a freaking hoax. So yes, I came from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to represent the teacher who did nothing criminal.
What does this situation sort of represent for you? I actually came here all the way from D.C. because I thought it seems to be emblematic of a lot of issues happening in the country right now.
It
But
represents standing up for your rights. And me as a person of color, at my age, 63 years old, I really shouldn't have to stand out here in 2021. You understand what I'm saying? But until I'm unable to walk, I will stand for what's right. Wearing masks, that's still not too much to ask. And she did not, I repeat, did not harm the child. So
you got black kids out there getting jumped on all the time by teachers. The reaction isn't this. I have kids in this district because I'm too like her. I'm from Third and Keith. I'm from Milwaukee. I have kids in this district. This district is horrible to black people. They complaining about a school literally that's better than any school here with the black principal and teachers they got. This is all ludicrous. It's philanderous, and they don't really care about what they're talking about.
No.
Even when they found out that what they was talking about was wrong, they still want to stand out here saying Fireman Scott, waving their little mask things. This is Beloit's racism at its finest, just like Diane Hendricks. This is all promotion for these things. That's the promotion. When you have the people of power, racists with money, all this type of shit happens. We cannot threaten white people as black people. We going to jail. These white people get to threatening everything. Cut it out, man. This woman went from to stand here by herself.
The father of the child in question is actually out here. I know it seems like you're kind of on opposite sides of the street, but do you have a message to the?
We're gonna always be on opposite sides. They white. They expect things that they get from their privilege. We black. We expect things that we never get. We've never got civil rights of being civil. This same situation with a black child, you would not have any of this going on, and this district would have just said, hey, he has to be suspended. He didn't wear his mask. You wouldn't have all of this. I could care less about their feelings. And when these things happens to our children, they don't care. They not out here then. Shit, let their kids have it. I don't care about their kids. They don't care about our kids. They treat our kids unfair. They don't even care. And now all of a sudden, because of a mask, they crying.
And in
Cut it
reference
out.
to the parents, from me, as far as the victim, a lot of people want to play victim and get the notoriety from my son was harmed at school. His son was not harmed at school. His son was asked at first to put a mask on, and then he didn't want to put a mask on. There are other children, had she not done that, that may have been at risk.
Black child would have been slammed,
So,
choked out.
yeah.
You don't see this. You don't see those type of alternatives for a black child. They'll be slammed, choked out, and then their parent will be notified. Cut it out.
Maybe he
Here.
likes the publicity he's getting now. You know, I don't know. But his child wasn't harmed. That's my main.
And all that proud boy shit, wrong person.
Oh yeah, I'm the wrong person for that, and that's another reason why I drove, because they don't scare me.
I mean, what is your feeling about? They're right there and there, basically.
They're right there and there. They can hear what's being
Long as
said.
they,
Yeah.
long as they
Villain
don't come
is-
over
this
here
is
and
a
jump
fact.
crazy, we're good. We both can. This is an open public street, so as long as they don't walk towards me menacing or anything of that fashion, we'll be fine today.
Fair enough. Thank you. I appreciate
I
you
go
talking.
practice at the gun range.
Thank you.
They were leaving.
Mm. It's interesting that they kind of just arrived as everyone else is leaving, but it would have been interesting to see them talk to each other.
Piggyback up the interval.
Sorry.
Piggyback.
My parents stand behind the teacher. They're trying to say criminally attacked the child, when in fact there was no crime done. She just wanted the child to wear a mask to protect the other students who
Right.
may not have been vaccinated. Okay, so this is not a hoax. Nothing criminally was done. And so, with that in mind, I drove about 80 miles to get here.
Oh wow, where are you from?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee? Nice. Okay. Would you mind going on camera and saying that?
No, I would not.
You don't want to?
No, I'm
Oh,
saying
you
I
wouldn't mind. Wouldn't mind. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I was filming.
We'll get it together in a minute. I hope I'm not making you nervous.
No.
Okay.
Why would you make me nervous?
I just have to ask.
All right. First up, we could just have you say and spell your first and last name for us real quick.
My first name is Brooke, B-R-O-O-K. My last name is Love, L-O-V-E.
Awesome. And can you just explain, what are you doing here today? How far did you drive?
I drove approximately 80 miles from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to where we are right now in Beloit, Wisconsin, to stand behind the teacher who is being demonized for something that was not criminal. She actually wanted the student to put on a mask to protect possibly herself and other students, and now it's like she's committed a crime. That student wasn't harmed, and therefore all of this is a blow up for nothing. So the coronavirus is not a hoax. People are dying every day, and she's
think I would just stay for another second.
Of course, yeah, I was waiting until I could hear this.
So as you may or may not be able to see, it's kind of wrapping up right now. The 6 Proud Boys kind of fell out. They're kind of in a huddle now. But most of the people are kind of getting back into their cars. What's kind of interesting was that there was sort of one counter protester who then a couple people kind of joined her in solidarity, but a total of 3 counter protesters, if you will, across the streets. But at this point, pretty much the rally is ending. So I'm going to stick around here in case anything else happens. But I'm going to cut the live feed now. And again, I will give the countervailing view that you can check out the NIH or the WHO website in order to get countervailing views about COVID. I had to say that for YouTube's purposes so that this live stream isn't taken down. In any event, I will be out here in case anything else happens, but for now I'm going to end the live stream. I will have HD footage up later today. Again, this rally, which began and pretty much is wrapping up now without any kind of sort of violence or confrontation or anything like that, was actually the cause of this school district closing all of their public schools out of concerns for the safety of students, they say in a statement. So I will have more footage and a story up later today. Thank you for watching.